topic is law of attraction and manifestation. I'm very fascinated by this topic, and I'm so excited to speak to you. Um, Manifestation, it's fascinating because it's so deep. Every time I think about it, there are too many. There's always something more to explore, right? One thing is to see what needs to be done, what are the right ways to do it. The other ways is other ways to just analyze how it is working and how it has worked for me in the past and what I did right. So it's an amazing topic, and it's also kind of very difficult to explain a topic. I have also analyzed why. I'm going to tell that reason in a bit, because it it works, and um, it's very difficult to point out why it works, or what you should do and what you should not be doing, right? So while this is difficult topic to explain, um, one thing um, I'm going to tell you that will benefit you is three or four things that you should be doing right, with respect to manifestation, right? That will work. So before we go any further, let's not glorify this topic. Okay, so we all are natural manifestors. So whether you like it or not, you're kind of manifesting in life all the time, and it has been working for you, right? So you might have thought about something. Um, in your mind, hey, this is what I want to be doing one day, or this is what I want to be doing, or this is what I should be eating, or this is how I should be spending my money, or this is the kind of chapel that I want to wear, this is the kind of restaurant I want to be in. And then you keep manifesting, even at that point of time, it may not sound real, and then it will eventually happen to you in your life, right? um so we all are natural manifestors. It will happen. So the topic that is there today is more like how to consciously manifest, and with or without manifestation, how your life will be. um and so maybe some techniques that has worked for me, and that has not worked for me, etc., right? um so let me share my screen. Let me just draw some things, right? Okay. See, okay. So basically, um let me start something like this, right? So till you are college, or still you start earning, everything kind of progresses itself, right? You have exams, you keep studying, you keep taking grades, maybe you pass from 12th to first year graduation, second year graduation, and things don't necessarily controlled by you, it kind of naturally it happens, right? um and also, the kind of people you meet, they keep inspiring, and which will help you uh you know progress your life in a way, right? For me, I was from a very small town. I studied in government school, and then I met some amazing people when I was in 12th. I took a lot of inspiration, and then I progressed my life in to the next level, in terms of my learnings, how I conduct myself, how I speak, how I put out my thoughts, even academics, right? After that, I met some even more amazing people in graduation. To be honest, Bangalore was just too much. But then, there I met another set of people, which I took inspiration from. And then I really stepped up my game, right? So then I started earning. And then there, I saw some more people. And then I took a lot of inspiration. And then my uh, life kind of started progressing, right? So everything is like a step up from then on, because I kept meeting some amazing people. And I started attracting whatever qualities they had. And I started dreaming about things that they used to have. Okay, so if, one of my friend who drove like a good bike, so I kind of wanted that bike, and then maybe car. And maybe they were going on some kind of holidays that I took that inspiration. And then I wanted to go on such kind of holidays when I had money, right? So I kind of took that inspiration, and I kept on progressing, because I had some really good people around. So it kind of happened naturally till then. So if you are manifesting, if you have that law of attraction, it works amazing if you're hanging out with great people, right? Nothing like it. If you are at level 10, and then you want to reach out to level 15, then start hanging out with people who are at level 15, and everything will happen naturally. And if you have that kind of opportunity, none of this matters, right? Just exit from this seminar. It's not even needed for you, if you can if you can get that kind of atmosphere. But usually, it doesn't happen all the time, right? So you kind of have to do this consciously. That way, you are at the better position. Okay, so let's stick to material things in this video, right? So let's say I want to they say money is the easiest thing that you can manifest, right? I've also analyzed why. It's very easy to manifest money because 99% people do the right thing. They do the right thing when they want to attract money. But then literally you can manifest anything, manifest good relationships, manifest good health, you can manifest anything. Right. Okay, so let's stick to the materialistic things in this. So what happens, right? So this is your baseline. So let's say you started earning 20K per month, and this is where your life is, right? So this is the house that you are living in. This is the vehicle that you are driving, and this is how you are spending your weekends. This is how you are this is where you are eating your breakfast, lunch, whatever. So this is your life, right? So. By the way, this is all without manifestation, right? So and then your salary increases. So let's say it goes to 50,000. It goes to 1 lakh. It goes to 2 lakhs. Okay. And then obviously there is a improved thing, right? Probably you're staying in a different place. You're your weekends look different. You're eating in a different place. So you kind of upgrade your lifestyle as it is, right? Not necessarily consciously, but yeah, now I have money, maybe hey, instead of this, maybe there are some things that you will upgrade, maybe this you will upgrade. But this is you are still at the same level, even you are earning the same money. Maybe this is something that you'll upgrade, right? And then same thing, when your salary becomes 2 lakhs, then based on the kind of reach you have, you kind of upgrade your lifestyle, right? So you are eating in a better place, you are probably wearing better shoes, you are driving a better vehicle and all that, right? So not necessarily this happens consciously, but basically um, the kind of range you have. right? Like, maybe like, you saw somebody eating in a five-star hotel, and then like, you kind of attracted to that. And now you just cannot go to that five-star hotel because you have money constraints. But when you have money, maybe that is the first thing that you want to do, right? Like, okay, hey, that guy, he used to have food in this way, like, this is what I want to do, right? Or maybe the shoes, like, it's your dream to wear Nike shoes. Um, you could never afford, or at least in your mind, when you are earning 50K, and then like, someday like you have excess money, and then like, you just wanted to have your dream shoes for yourself, right? So so this you don't need to do anything. It's just basically like, you see people around you get inspired by your friends, or like, you see some things, and then like, you kind of like, attract your things, right? Depending also like, your house, right? So maybe you would have gone to somebody's house, and you were impressed by it, and then like, oh my God, yeah, I want to live in this kind of house, right? So, and when you have money, you maybe like, you'll upgrade, right? So this is what is happening in our lives. And there is always like, a peak time, right? So if you know stock market, there is a breakout zone, right? So typically what happens, once you are at that level, like, where you have, okay, oh, I have a good money, then people like, they get that, then they start getting scared, right? Like, oh my God, what if I lose my money? Like, what if I have to go back again to this 20K level? Or like, what if I get some disease? What if I do that? Like, they start thinking negatively, and they unfortunately they end up attracting those negative things. Okay, and then they start happening, which is like an unfortunate case in most of the thing. So, so then there is always a peak, and then like, something like, they're very skeptical to like, spend, or like, attract some things. It may not like, you know things may not work out for them, or maybe they have more, and they'll not end up spending, or they'll not be able to attract better things in their life. They'll not be able to attract those better opportunities and all that, right? So versus the manifestation way, right? So you are at this 20,000, and then like, you maybe reach at 50,000. And once you reached 50,000, okay, so how you are going to live? You are going to live as if you have a 2 lakh salary. Okay, so that means like, you start behaving like that. You start like, spending like that. You start like, visualizing like that, like, okay, hey, so tomorrow I'm going to get this 2 lakhs anyway, right? Like, how, if I get 2 lakhs, is this the place where I'm going to be eating? Is this the shoes that I'm going to wear? Hey, do I need to really spend on that train, which takes like, 12 hours, versus like, maybe take a flight, which will save like, 8 hours of my precious time. So you start thinking, like, um, you are already at that level, right? So once you do this 2 lakhs, maybe like, you can then like, start living as if like, you have a 10 lakh salary, right? So in this, what happens? So you are consciously creating something called as containers. Okay, you're creating containers, and you are like, attracting, you're already living at that energy, and then like, you'll be able to attract this like, money, which is also energy, if you see, right? Um, so, uh, it's a very interesting thing. So, it kind of looks difficult, but it works always. Like, I've also spent some time analyzing, like, why this would work. Okay. So, when you are living at that level, so you are actually creating containers, right? So, when you have 2 lakh rupees, like, hey, I'm at like, 50K. And then if I were to get 20 lakhs, 2 lakhs, right? Like, hey, this is not the phone that I want to be having, right? So I don't want to eat food in on the roadside, maybe, like, which has bad food ingredients. I don't want to, like, wear something like this, which will not, like, whether it's quality or brand or whatever, right? So you start living at that thing, and then eventually you'll be able to attract this 2 lakh, and you will be at 2 lakhs. Okay. Um, so guys, life is not of it's less of you are doing versus, like, more of outside things controlling us. So what I mean by that is, see, for example, you studying engineering has a less effect compared to you uh, you being, like, maybe in born in Bangalore, or, like, staying close to Bangalore. So that means, like, Bangalore has, like, lot to offer for engineering graduates. So that's why, like, you are getting the salary. So not necessarily, like, because of your hard work, you are getting a job or salary. Maybe it's because, like, you are at the right place, right? So same thing for your job, right? So think about it. This might have happened in your lives also, right? So somebody might have given some idea which would have, like, amplified your life. Right? Somebody would have referred you to a job, and you would have, like, got job just like that, compared to, like, how you would have worked hard to achieve it, right? So it's more of, like, external forces um that kind of, like, accelerate this kind of things in your life. So I don't know if I'm able to explain this right, but then, like, I think I hope you can relate to this too, right? So when you start thinking um, in your mind that, like, you're at that level, then, like, you will be able to attract many more things naturally, and you will be able to reach to that level faster than you think. Okay. um, and one interesting thing is, you will be able to, if you are able to imagine that, or if you are able to imagine getting a 2 lakh salary from where you are, right? So that means, if you're able to imagine very specific things about this state, so just, like, rest assured, it's something from your future, that you are for sure reaching that state soon, right? So that means, um, it's, like, well within the reach, right? So if you observe also, right, like, if you are at 50 k level, you will not be able to imagine your life maybe, like, 25 crore month types, right? Because you don't have access to that kind of thing, right? So maybe you will be able to imagine, like, 2 lakhs, maybe you'll be able to imagine 3 lakhs. But if you were to imagine 24 crore a month life, you will for sure get it. Okay. It's very difficult thing to do, but that's how manifestation works. You start imagining, right? Like, you start living, you start daydreaming, and you start thinking, like, hey, this is what I want to do. And if you're able to imagine, if you're able to, like, put very specific thoughts, very specific dreams on, like, into that, you will get it. Okay. um so yeah, so if I were to give you, like, 24 5 crores, like, what will you do, like, right? So every day, like, how does your day look like? Where do you get up, like, what do you eat? uh, so, like, it may be difficult to start imagining 24 5 crores, but if you can imagine, nothing like it, right? So what I would suggest is, also, like, why should anybody give you 25 crores? You really don't even know how to spend. You really don't have these containers, which is, like, very specific on how you are going to spend it, right? So even if this is a big energy, right? So if you don't have, like, capacity to receive it, whether you call it energy, or whether you call it as God, or whether you call it as, like, whatever, you will not be able to receive it. Okay. So yeah, so one thing, things that have worked, right? So start dreaming, how your life looks like, what you want in your life, uh, how your health should be, how your relationship should be, how you want to get up, what do you want to, prioritize your day on, right? So everything you can manifest, right? So, um what should be the kind of freedom you should have at work, right? What should be the kind of money that you should have? Let's say I want to go to a showroom and I don't want to look at the price tags for the clothes, right? So that's where I want to be. So, you know, uh, start, imagining these things, be specific, start, daydreaming and put your energy on those thoughts and believe that it will happen. And if you are able to imagine, it will happen. It's you from your future who is making those thoughts believe. Okay. So start, daydreaming, and then the second thing, always be specific, right? These containers, right? What exactly are you going to do when you get that money? What exactly are you going to do when you get that free time? What exactly are you going to do when you have amazing relationships? Um, so this versus this, this is very, it helps you prioritize, guys. That's why I said, don't glorify this manifestation. This is something that naturally happens. See, when you start looking on, how your day should look like, how your weekend should look like. So you are so focused. One, yeah, of course, you will attract it. Two, you will do the right things to progress in that direction. Okay, so you will not waste energy doing something else which is not in your goal, right? So you will end up spending a focused dedicated energy towards that, and there is no way it will not happen, right? So if you're thinking logically, that's how it works. um and yeah, law of attraction, there is no way this will not happen. How fast it will happen, how much it will happen, it all depends on how you how uh, with how much clarity you can imagine, right? So how clear is your thought is all that matters. um yeah, most importantly, have a you know, be grateful for where you are, right? So, gratitude is something which is very very important in this journey. Even if you are at 50K, when you are imagining, it's not like, okay, oh my God, I don't have 50K, I don't have that, I cannot do that, I cannot do this. So these are negative terms in your manifestation journey. While you manifest this 2 lakhs, be grateful for what you have, right? Be grateful for the state you are in. So that will also help you in manifestation, right? um yeah, so I think that's all I wanted to say, but it may be very confusing. But this is just not the end of it, right? So I just wanted to give you some pointers. Go back, read about manifestation, law of attraction, the secret book. There are a lot of amazing people. They keep on saying something about the manifestation, right? All these superstars and all these people they keep saying hey, I already always knew that I'm going to be big superstar one day, right? So in a way they are attracting that, right, even without they have having that status. So yeah, so I just want to leave you guys with some pointers. And I want you to go back, explore more, have a discussion. If you can hang out with people who does this manifestation, or who are at much better than you are, then nothing like it, right? So that's the best case possibility. If not, like, have access. I think all these Mind Valley guys, they speak about manifestation all the time. Um, I read about the secret book, right? So there are a lot many more books on this topic. But yeah, it's beautiful. It's very easy, very achievable, and more than anything else, it works, right? So all the best in your manifestation journey. May you manifest many more beautiful things. Thank you so much. Thank you.